Hello everyone, welcome back to another video lecture on sexual reproduction in flowering plants. And in the last video lecture we mainly studied about the fruits and the importance of or the advantages of the seeds, okay, that we studied. This is about the fruit. Usually there are different types of fruits we can see here. False fruit, two types of fruits are there, false fruits and then true fruits. Okay, false means they are not completely formed of the by the ovary. Okay, usually fruits are formed by the ovary. Okay, ovary is going to be formed as a fruit, but in some cases what happens, for in apple and strawberry, some of the other parts of the other parts of the uh, ovary, for example thalamus, is also involving in the formation of the fruit. Such fruits we call it as a false fruits, and opposite to that, true fruits. It means only the ovary is involving in the formation of the fruit. Such fruits we call it as a true fruits. And usually some fruits are going to be formed without fertilization. Such fruits we call it as a parthenocarpic fruits. Okay, and here pericarp is there. Pericarp is nothing but it is the uh, outermost layer of the fruit or transfer. For example, here the ovary wall is going to be formed into the outermost layer of the fruit, that we call it as a pericarp. These definitions are important, please remember. And moving to the next, here this is the structure. There are different types of fruits here they given. One is apple, this is apple here, and strawberry. Here the thalamus they given here. This thalamus is involving in the formation of the fruit, so it is not a completely true fruit, it is a false. Here also the thalamus is involved in the formation of fruit, so it is not completely true fruit, it is a false fruit. Okay, then next, here are some advantages of seeds we studied. Usually for better adaptive strategies for dispersal. Okay, they can grow. Okay, we have to disperse or distribute the seeds in varieties of areas. Okay, and they are able to develop over there. Okay, these are important for the species. Then food reserve. The seeds are going to preserve the food. Then protection. Protection also, because it is mainly covered by two layers. One is outer testa and inner tegment, two layers. The protection is there, and along with that they can survive for a longer time. Then new combination, because it's a sexual reproduction, you can find the new combinations here by cross pollination and everything. The variation in the genes we can observe here. For that purpose it is important. Then basis of agriculture, here dry and dormancy condition of the seed is very important for the agriculture, because farmers can store them and then they can cultivate them when the season will come. The next, viability. This is also important. Viability, in case in some example they given lupin, that is lupinus arcticus, is exhausted from arctic tundra. Okay, it is usually the seed can germinate after 10 years. Okay, the long duration, that is the estimated record is that 10 years. After 10 years that seed starts germination, that is the dormancy of that particular seed, and in some cases it is around 200 years. For example, you can take date palm. Okay, after 10 years, after, so not 10 years, after 200 years it is able to. Such advantage and important aspect they given. And this is about the advantage of seeds. And moving to the next one, that is the last bit of the topic, that is apomixis and polyembryony. Okay, apomixis and polyembryony, these are two are very important. Please remember for the examination point of view, for your theory as well as for your competitive examination purpose, this is very important. Okay, first we should know about the what is apomixis and what is polyembryony. Okay, definition. So many times they ask the definition, what is apomixis and what is polyembryony. And here in some cases, in some species of the plants, okay, in some species of the plants they are showing apomixis. Okay, for example in some grasses, okay, some grasses and some other in plants, they are mainly showing apomixis. And usually first, what is made by apomixis? Okay, here we know that seed is the end product of sexual reproduction. Seed is the end product of sexual reproduction. This is the final product of sexual reproduction. And coming to the apomixis, here the seeds are going to be, in some plants, seeds are going to be formed without fertilization. Okay, the seeds are going to be formed without fertilization. There is no fertilization at all. Without fertilization, there is a formation of seed. And one term remember, without fertilization, there is a formation of fruit. That we call it as a parthenocarpic fruits. If they are formed fruits, that is parthenocarpic fruits. Okay. If the seeds formed without fertilization, that we call it as a apomixis. Okay, that we call it as a apomixis. Please remember, don't get confused. Okay, don't get confused. In some plants, what happens, without fertilization, there is a formation of seed. There is a formation of seed. Such plants, such seeds we call that, such process we call it as a apomixis. And the seeds formed by the apomixis is called as apomictic seeds. Okay, apomictic seeds we are going to be called. That is the thing. That is the definition of apomixis. And next to that, here how they are going to be formed. Okay, how they are going to be formed, that we have to study here. Here the apomixis is a asexual reproduction. Okay, it is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. In parthenocarpic fruits also, without fertilization, without fertilization means it is asexual only. Without the involvement of the gametes. There is no involvement of the gametes. Such development or fertilization we call it as a asexual reproduction. Such reproduction we call it as a asexual reproduction. The same thing happening here. The seeds are going to be formed without fertilization. It is a form of asexual reproduction. Apomixis is a form of asexual reproduction, but it is mimicking like a sexual reproduction. It is behaving like a sexual reproduction because there is a formation of the seeds. Without fertilization, there is a formation of seeds. Okay, seeds are going to be formed. There is not that much variation in the seeds. In apomictic seeds and then the fertilized seeds, there is not that much difference. So it is a form of asexual reproduction, but the apomixis is mimicking like a sexual reproduction. That is very important. Okay, that is very important. Please remember. And next, how they are going to be formed? How they are going to be formed? Here, I am going to show you. For example, there is a megaspore mother cell. Okay, megaspore mother cell, where it is present. For example, this is the embryo. So not embryo, this is the embryo sac, and outside the embryo sac we can find here the different nucellus. Okay, nucellus we can, sorry, nucellus, lot of cells are there. Nucellus is good present here. Mass of cells we can find here around the embryo sac. That we call it as a nucellus. That we call it as a nucellus. And in the middle here there is a embryo sac. Antipodal cells are there, polar nuclei, and then synaptic cells, and then egg cell present over there. But what happens here in some cases, the egg, okay, the egg is not going to be formed by meiosis. Usually the egg is a gamete. It is mainly formed when the 2n become n. Okay, diploid become haploid. It's the egg. But in case of this, usually here the meiosis occurs. And because of this meiosis, there is a formation of diploid to haploid egg. But in some cases what happens, this meiosis will not happen. Meiosis will not happen. The diploid cell undergo mitosis, not meiosis. It will undergo mitosis, not meiosis. If it undergo meiosis, there is a formation of haploid. But it is not undergoing the meiosis, it is undergoing the mitosis. So the diploid cell is directly converted into diploid. Diploid cell is directly converted into diploid. 2n become 2n, 2n, again 2n, 2n. What is embryo? Usually it is a mass of cell. Okay, mass of cells. Here the egg is going to be fused with the sperm, and then it becomes 2n, and that diploid again undergo mitosis. Okay, that mitosis, when they undergo mitosis, there is a formation of mass of cells. But here the egg is formed not by the meiosis, it is formed by the mitosis. There is no meiosis. It is the egg is not a haploid here, it is a diploid. Okay, megaspore mother cell directly undergo mitosis, not meiosis. It will not form any egg cell. Okay, haploid egg cell is not going to be formed here. There is a formation of direct diploid cell, and that diploid cell will undergo repeated division with the help of mitosis. Then there is a formation of embryo. This is the one kind of apomixis we can take. Okay, this is the one kind of apomixis. And when you think of different another type of apomixis, I will show that one. Say for example, this is the this is the embryo sac. This is the embryo sac, and around the embryo sac there is a presence of nucellus. There is a presence of nucellus. There is a presence of nucellus, and these nucellus cells are haploid. They are haploid, and these nucellus cells, they try to enter. They undergo division, and they try to enter into the embryo sac. They produce into the embryo sac. They will try to produce into the embryo sac. Okay, for example, these two, this one and this one and this one, they undergo division, and these will try to come into the embryo sac. And again there is a development of another embryo. Multiple embryos are going to be formed here. Sometimes the integument cells are also try to come inside the embryo sac. Okay, they are also try to come inside the embryo sac. That condition is also going to be happen here. Okay, some of the nucellus cells, if the nucellus cells enter into the embryo sac, okay, if they enter into the embryo sac, there is also development of embryo. Already one egg cell is there, it is also undergoing the development. Along with that, another one more cell will enter here inside. Okay, that is nucellus cell is going to be enter directly into the embryo sac. Okay, and that diploid will undergo division and then develop into one embryo. Again another one cell will enter, again that will undergo mitosis, again there is a development. Again another one cell, again that will undergo mitosis, again there is a development of another embryo. Like that, from a single ovule there is a presence of more than one embryo, either it is 2, either it is a 3, more than one embryo. Such condition we call it as a polyembryony. Such condition we call it as a polyembryony. Okay, that is the thing. If the ovule contain more than one embryo, okay, if the ovule contain more than one embryo, that we term it as a polyembryony. That term we call it as a polyembryony. Okay, in apomixis there are two conditions. One, what will happen? The direct mother cell will not undergo any meiosis. Directly it will undergo the mitosis, and there is a formation of mass of cells, and that will develop into embryo. This is the one scenario. And coming to the another one, some of the nucellus cells, okay, some of the nucellus cells, they will try to enter into the embryo sac. They will try to enter into the embryo sac, and there is a formation of embryo, and such embryo we call it as a nucellar embryo. Oh, nucellus embryo we are going to be called. And in some cases, from the integument, here you can find the layers from the integuments, Okay, from the integument, here you can find the layers from the integument. These are the integuments. Some cases the cells from the integument they try to come into the embryo sac. They will try to come into the embryo sac, and there is a development of embryo, and such embryo we call it as an integumentary embryo or integument embryo we are going to be call them. Okay, this is the thing. This is the two scenario for the formation of apomixis. Okay, please remember students definition of apomixis and polyembryony. Apomixis means there is a formation of seed without fertilization, that is apomixis. And polyembryony, if the ovule contain more than one embryo, if the ovule contain more than one embryo, such condition we call it as a polyembryony. And that polyembryony you can see in case of some mango plants, not in all species, in some mango species and in some citrus plant. Okay, in some mango species and in some citrus plants we can see the polyembryony. Okay, this is about the polyembryon apomixis. And in your NCERT they give one story about the hybrids and other things about apomixis and polyembryony, their importance they given. And here the production of apomixis is important for the producing hybrid varieties of fruits, vegetables, and increasing the crop yield multifold. How it is? Usually hybrids, we know about the hybrids. Hybrids are very important for the production of new varieties or the production of more amount of products, food products. For that purpose hybrids are very important. Okay, hybrids are very important. Without hybrid formation it is not possible to supply the food to the peoples, because the population is more, so the production rate should be more. So for that we need hybrids. Okay, we need hybrids. So when we are producing the hybrids we will increase our productivity as well as their quality. Okay, productivity as well as quality. We can take fruits, we can take vegetables, whatever the things we can take, we are able to increase the quality and increase the productivity. Because of hybrid it is possible. Because of hybrid it is possible. But what happens for the farmers, especially for the farmers, some drawbacks are also there. In case of hybrids some drawbacks we can see here. What are those? We are producing the hybrid, but the hybrids are hybrid seeds. Okay, hybrid seeds we have to produce per year. Okay, each and every year we have to produce the hybrid seeds. Okay, hybrid seeds are going to be produced every year. This is one drawback. Why we are going to produce every year? When the hybrids are going to be formed, when these hybrids segregate, okay, when they are going to produce the progeny, and they are going to produce the progeny, at that time what will happen? The characters are going to be segregate. The characters are going to be segregate. It is common. The characters are going to be segregate. Again it loses its original value. It loses its original value. It loses its original value. So we need to produce hybrids per year. Okay, each and every year we have to produce the hybrid seeds. It is not possible, and it will very costly. The production of hybrid is every year, and we are collecting the characters, dominant characters, and then recessive characters, everything we are going to be collect continuously, and then producing hybrid seeds, it is quite difficult. It's quite difficult, and it's cost. There is a more production is there, but it is a consume lot of money. So we have to go through these apomixes or apomictic seeds we are able to produce. So what we are going to do here, we are going to produce the hybrids, when we produce the hybrids, when we will produce the hybrids, at that time will undergo these hybrid products into apomictic seeds. These hybrid seeds will undergo, if they undergo apomictic or apomixis, if they undergo apomixis, what is the benefit of this? because these will not segregate in the progeny, because there is no formation of haploid organisms. There is no formation of haploid organisms in apomixis. Directly the mother cell will undergo the mitotic division, so there is a formation of product. Okay, there is a formation of seed. Directly seed is going to be formed. Okay, directly seed is going to be formed if the seed undergo apomixis. This is the condition. If normally in case of hybrids, if we are going to be yield that, if we are going to produce that hybrid, and what will happen, that the hybrid will lose its character when they segregate. Okay, the characters are going to be segregate over there, so we will not find the original seed, we will not find the characteristic of that original hybrid seed. Okay, getting my point? Originals. So what will happen here, these hybrid seeds, if they undergo apomixis, if they will undergo apomixis, in apomixis there is a condition, there is a mitotic division, no meiosis. Meiosis means characters are going to be segregated over there, but here mitosis occurs, so there is no segregation of any characters. There is no segregation of any characters. So whatever the hybrid is there, that is going to be produced as it is. Okay, that seed is going to be produced as it is. So no need to produce every year. No need to produce that every year. No need to produce the hybrid seeds every year. Okay, every year there is no need to produce production of the hybrids. Okay, and the farmers can utilize these hybrid seeds, these apomictic seeds continuously. These apomictic seeds continuously, they are able to utilize all this, because there is no segregation of the characters because of the because of the production of the gametes. Okay, there is no segregation. Why? Here the cell is not undergoing the meiosis, it is undergoing mitosis, so there is no segregation of the characters. Whatever the mother seed is there, hybrid seed, that will continue into same characters, that will continue along with the same characters, so the farmers can utilize these seeds. Okay, this is the one important story they given in your NCERT. Okay, just go through it, and it's a very simple concept, you can understand. Apomixis definition and polyembryony definition is very important, please remember that. Okay, please remember, those two are very important. Okay, and just understand the concept of apomixis and polyembryony, and the story given in your NCERT, just go through that. Simple story is there, whatever I was explained till now, that story only they given, and you can understand the concept. This is about the polyembryony and apomixis. Okay, I hope so. Now all the concept of this chapter was clear for you people, and if you have any doubt regarding this chapter, please ask the questions and read your NCERT textbook thoroughly. Okay, and if you are not getting any points, you can go through the video again, watch once again the video, and you will came to know about the concept. Okay, and this completes the chapter, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay, and in the next video lecture we'll begin with a new chapter. Okay, thank you.